Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I actually am doing a call out here to the saviours of lock sport, the bloody gurus of lock sport. So that 33-4B45 that I sent William Mansell, that had no key, it was gunked up, it had a mystery hole in the side of the right hand side warding and all that. I couldn't pick that. I sent it to William Mansell because I have you know, I'm a huge fan of William actually. I think he's got something that a lot of other pickers lack, and what it is he's mad. He's just fucking mad, but he's absolutely determined. He's got the nous. You know, he'll get his hands dirty. He'll have fun doing it. Sometimes for an annoying mad lock, you got to send it to a mad lock picker. And he did it, he beat it, and he refurbished it, and he cut the key, and he did all that, and I was like, you the man, bruss, you the man, because that's what I wanted for that lock. I wanted it to have another life, and to be enjoyed by someone. Well, this is the second lock that was in that same situation. It's a 234-45. It was pretty gunked up. It took me a while to pick it, but I did pick it. I gutted it, and I made my very first key. I attempted to cut the original bitting that was in the key, and I fucked it. So anyway, what I did was I got another key from another lock, and it had reasonable bitting on it, and then what I did was I swapped all the pins in this, the order of the pins, and I got them reasonably close, and then I only had to shave down 2 positions on the key, and I made a new key, and that's reasonable bitting on that. Look at that, real low, medium, a low again, medium, all the way up into a real high at the back. And I have a working key with the call now, but old novice lips here, I dropped the shackle and everything out of the guts of it, and every time I've spent 40 minutes trying to get it back together. I understand the order that it goes in, but how the hell do you keep it from the ball bearings rolling out when you go to slide the actuator in the back? Then as soon as you don't have all the tension on the shackle pushing up into the body, the shackle spring forces it down, pulls the ball bearings onto the actuator, turns the actuator into its wrong position, makes it impossible to get your little wafer plate and your spring here into the back set where it needs to be. And it's an absolute nightmare. One of the most frustrating things I've had to do this year. If anyone's got some tips or a technique that keeps the ball bearings in place or something like that, can you please leave a comment or even hit me up on the email with the step-by-step instructions, because I'm literally going to need instructions, or I'm going to need medication, to tell you the truth. Anyway, so for some great info to help me get through that, I'm going to barter with you and trade some great info. Something that I have learned. So what I have learnt is this. These tapered pins that are in these lockwoods that we've been talking about now for a little bit, and it's a bit of a topic. I'll have to have a shout out to Paul. Paul Spriggett has sent so many lockwoods out to the rest of the world that lockwood and Australian locks seems to be the hot topic at the moment, which I think is really cool. So people are running into the very sharp spools that are in these suckers, in the 33-4B. You know, there's an art to picking them, and I'll talk about that in another video, because there is literally a trick to them. I'm now picking them quite efficient, that I'm picking them out of the packet, walking down the line, not worrying about the binding order. And coming back the other direction to catch the binding order, and I seem to be knocking them out no problem because of the amount of practice I've put into it, and the things that I've worked out with it. But something is about these 301s. Now, the first time I picked this, I told you it took me 80 hours. I had the steepest learning curve I've ever ran into. And the only reason why I was able to pick it was because I was listening to different people describe, you know, what's the go and stuff like that. And the thing was is that I've said this in a couple of comments, there is tension, medium tension, there's light tension, medium tension, heavy tension, right? That we all, you know, place, you know, at majority of locks we're in them three categories. It's light tension, medium tension or heavy tension lock. This is in its own category, these Lockwood tapered pins in here. They are pure, super heavy tension. They are. And there's a little trick that I've worked out picking them. If you watch me here, that's light tension, that's heavy tension, super heavy tension is that. I'm literally bending my heavy bar tension wrench there. When you've got so much tension on it, all of a sudden the shear line to the beveled pins from the key pins to the driver pins, you can actually feel them more prominently, and when you get it and it feels like everything's set in there, what you do is, because you've got the bevel on the driver pin to the shear line and the bevel on the key pin to the shear line, but something there is just not letting you go. It could be all of them. It could be just one that's not letting you go. Go into the back with your... have I picked that? Right, you go into the back and you rake it. Well, that was one zip I needed to do then, and it was enough to pop it. I'll do it one more time just to show you. You get them all set onto that shear line at the tapered section of the pins, heaps of tension, and what you'll find is that it's not opening, but you're very close. And it can be frustrating, a bit of a learning curve, trying to work out what that last step is to get them open. The heavy tension is the secret. Without the heavy tension, I was 80 hours going into this. And now that I've worked out the heavy tension, super heavy tension, I've picked 3 of them. And the other 2 that I picked, the friend zone, you know, that I said, look, I think I'm working out something that is a bit of a technique to picking these. Can I have a crack at picking yours? And they were like, yeah, sure. And what happened was that they held me back for pretty much a minute. Not to say that my picking skill is at that level, but I think that is the specific technique for these. Super heavy tension, set everything, and when it doesn't fall over, put your pick in the back and zip it. And then you watch the sucker pop. So anyway, with the laws of the land, I am calling for help. I need some information with that, and I hope that my trade for barter about the tip of how to do the tapered pins in these Lockwoods, I hope we can get an equal trade and I can get this bloody thing back to working order and give it a new life. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I have been noticing that some of my videos are cracking 80 views, and I've got 36 subscribers, so there's a few of you that are tuning in that aren't subscribed. So all I can say about that is, can you please subscribe? Because I don't want to bloody threaten any of yous, right? Click that button. The main reason why I want more subscribers is that I've been in the shed non-stop making stuff, as you know, for my first giveaway, and no one's getting a shot at if they haven't subscribed and have commented to at least 10 videos. So I'm going to say it from now, from this video onwards. If I don't know who you are and you haven't said hello to me, don't expect to jump in my first giveaway. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. and I'll see you next time. Cheers.